All right, welcome to another episode. If you read the title, it pretty much sums it up. Frustrated Knicks fan. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've been watching the Knicks for a long time now. And oh my God, I've, especially when they play on the road, it's like I've been watching the same game over and over and over. I'm curious. I would love if I could, if somebody could look it up, maybe contact the Elias Sports Bureau and find out, as a franchise, the New York Knicks record on the road on Saturdays. Let me tell you, it has to be uh, uh, at least 30% winning percentage on road games on Saturdays for the Knicks. And this is a tie in to a little bit later on this episode. So you know, I mentioned the Knicks. I mentioned a whole bunch of times so far. They made the move. They made a couple moves. They got Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah, Kristaps Porzingis is a year better. They still have Carmelo, but as I mentioned in the previous Knicks video that I made when I gave them the report card and grades, listen, even if they sneak into the playoffs, this team can't doesn't play defense. No, they don't play defense at all. They try sometimes, but most of the time they don't, and they can't make a stop when it counts. Now you could say, yeah, you know what, Frank? This isn't the '80s. This isn't the Bad Boys, Pistons, NBA. Uh, this isn't the '90s with the Knicks, and when the whole NBA started playing aggressive basketball, and they had to change the defensive rules. They eliminated the hand checking, due mainly to the Knicks of the '90s, the Pat Riley days and the Patrick Ewing teams. I mean, at least the good teams, the elite teams, you want to say the Cavaliers, even the Golden State Warriors, the Spurs. Yeah, they may not be the greatest defensive teams of all time, but the difference between them and everyone else is they can make stops when they need to, when they want to, and when they have to. I mean, oh my God, this Sticks team. I I've been watching the same game for the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Wide open threes. The opponent drives the lane. Easy layup. Or he dishes, and the Knicks are undisciplined and they move off their man. They converge on the driving forward or guard, and he easy dish to the opening man and dunk layup. It's like watching schoolyard basketball. They can't. I don't know. Is it that hard to adjust? Is it a will to adjust? I mean, obviously, this team, the Sticks team in 2016, 17, they have talent, offensive talent. They can score. They can put up 100 points easily. They have a lot of weapons. But where is the defense? And now that they're riding on a 5 game losing streak to start the year, they dip below 500. Uh, they stand in 10 and yeah, they stand in 10th place in the East at 16 and 18. Behind the game, half a game behind the Wizards, half a game behind the Bulls, half a game behind the Pacers, and a game and a half behind the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, is it going to be? I mean, yeah, they have to make the playoffs. It's the next step as a unit. Just going forward, they have to make the playoffs. To do what though? To get sacrificed to the Cavaliers, or to get run off the floor in 5 games to the Toronto Raptors, or hope to have a good series against the Celtics. And let me tell you, I've said it time and time again. The trading deadline is coming up. It'll be here before we know it. Phil Jackson has to answer a lot of questions. Is this team for real? Are they contenders or are they pretenders? Who's staying and who's going? And you read the title. Yeah, that guy. But first, let's just go real quick. The 5 game losing streak. It started at home against the Celtics, where they lost 119 to 114. They were down by 12, I think, in the fourth quarter. They made a big comeback, and they tried to make it close, but the Celtics pulled away. We give them a pass in that. Okay, and then next against Atlanta. This is another thing. The announcers, Frazier and Breen, they're getting on my nerves. Praising the Knicks, but they're losing and they're praising the Knicks for being in the game. What a game! What an offensive performance! I mean, they just trying to sell the audience to not tune off, switch the channel because it seems to me like that's what they're doing. What a game! What a game! What a gutty performance! Gutty performance. They're down 12 and they have to come back. Why? Because the other team's not playing defense. The other team's taking it easy. In Atlanta, they lost in overtime, and I mean, yeah, Atlanta's no world beat up. Who's Atlanta? They got Dwight Howard, but I mean, they lost a lot of pieces. Uh, Give me a break. Howard in that game, he had this. He was vintage Howard. He had 16 points, 22 rebounds, and the Knicks always they can't win close games on the road because they can't make stops. And then the announcers gave them a moral victory on that game, 2 games in a row, and then they go to New Orleans. And oh man, New Orleans. Who's New Orleans? They have Anthony Davis, and besides that, very little. They're a perennial lottery team. Anthony Davis, he was it was looked like he was playing in a scrimmage. He had 22. What did he have? He had 23 points and 18 rebounds. And if you notice, this is going to be a theme of these big gaudy stat lines by opposing players, and how they torched them. And he only had 12, but it seemed like he was making shots every time he needed to. They were never even in this game. The Pelicans, 104-92, they lost. Then in Houston, and this is where I lost it. I actually sat there and tried to watch the whole game from start to finish. They were getting run off the floor. James Harden had a triple double at halftime. They were down by as many as 12 in the second half, and they started coming back. And this is where the announcers of Frazier and Breen selling the game, trying to sell the game to the fans. Oh, what a comeback! What a gutty performance by the Knicks. They're staying in the game. Why? Because the Rockets are even worse than the Knicks on defense. They're coached by Mike D'Antoni. The guy doesn't even know how to spell defense. His whole claim to fame in the NBA is just push the ball, and shoot the ball in the 4 or 5 seconds. Oh my God! And I had to hear this. And every time they came back, they got it within 5. Oh my God! This is what a great performance. Why? Because why the Rockets were resting, and then as soon as it got close, they easily scored and went up by 12 again. I've seen this game for the last 25 years. Same exact game. I knew how it was going to end. I tuned off in the third quarter. I knowing that the Knicks weren't going to win this game. I would have put my whole savings on it, and I would have won. And let's talk about that gaudy record-setting stat line by James Harden. He ties Wilt Chamberlain for the most points scored with a triple double, 53 points, 17 assists, 16 rebounds. I got a friend online. He commented, "Oh, I want really. I'm dying to see the highlights of James Harden." I told him, wide open threes and easy layups, uncontested layups. I say, if you're watching this, I'll save you a lot of time. Wide open threes and lots of uncontested layups, or driving and making somebody look foolish. What a gutsy performance! If I have to hear that again. And then tonight against the Magic at home, you would think where Madison Square Garden was still trying to make this a place where they could win. They were never in this game. And I don't want to hear the crap if you're saying that. Oh well, they don't have Kristaps Porzingis. Why? Would he have made a difference? The Knicks are a great defensive team when Kristaps Porzingis is playing. What they would have won this game instead of losing 115, 103, they would have what they would have won 119, 115. Unbelievable. Again tonight, they got torched by Meeks, 7 for 9 for 3 pointers, wide open threes, wide open threes, wide open threes, wide open threes. Him and Ryan and Gordon. See, these players, they play the Knicks and they look like all stars. Aaron Gordon, he burnt the Knicks tonight. Wide open threes, wide open threes, wide open threes. 8 for 9, 8 for 9 from the floor. He's had 22 points, 6 assists, and all-star night. And then and I don't even want to read the offensive the stat lines for the Knicks. Who cares? 20 points, 18 points. Who cares? Yeah, they scored 103, but if you can't play defense, it doesn't matter. One bright note in this last 5 game losing streak is Joakim Noah looks like he's playing better. He's starting to get double figure rebounds. He's starting to show some life. Well, I hope so. He's got a contract, a multi-year contract. But in closing with this, this is part of the title. With the deadline coming up, the Knicks have to make a serious decision about this franchise. So they signed Derrick Rose, and if so, they got to really seriously consider and sitting Carmelo Anthony down, Phil Jackson. I don't know. They Anthony claims they have a pretty good relationship in private. Who knows? I've been saying it all along. Carmelo Anthony's a year older and he's a year more frustrated. If the Knicks keep tanking, they got to really sit him down and say, "Listen, you tried. I'm sure you want to go out, end your career with a great chance to win a championship. Here's a list of these teams. Pick one. Pick this contender. Give us a list of your top 5 contenders you want to be dealt to, and get something back for him. Get picks back for him. Get role players back for him. Get defensive players back for him. Get get players who can make a difference on defense. Get players who could play, who are going to be playing alongside Porzingis and Derrick Rose for the next 5 years." I mean, if anybody's watching, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Tell me if you think they should trade Carmelo Anthony as soon as possible. I mean, I don't. They're not going to win a championship with him. It's becoming more. It's becoming clearer and clearer every day. It's been clear. So like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.